Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for attending. We're really excited to be here. From ABB and Thomas & Betts, we'll present to you some products you're familiar with, as well as some new ones that we recently launched. You can see my presentation. Ready to go. So, just go back real quick. I'll just introduce myself. I'm Joe Cristiano. I am the account manager for Cooper Electric, handling the Elmsford, Manhattan, and recently the Newburgh branch. So I have 3.5 years experience with ABB, and my counterpart, Mark DiMartino, I'm sure you're familiar with Mark. He has responsibility for Cooper Electric and Friedman and City from a corporate standpoint. So I'll be handling this video today. So the agenda, again, we're just going to talk a little bit about, legacy Thomas & Betts and how ABB plays into the spectrum. You may or may not be familiar with how ABB is part of this whole thing, so I'll explain that. And we'll go into some new car line offerings. It's going to be car line centric, as I like to call it. Some new car line offerings, along with some oldies but goodies. And then I'll review Market Link. We'll get into that for you at the end. So Thomas & Betts, everyone's very familiar with T&B. Grew up with the electricals in New York City. Started way back in 1898 by Robert Thomas and Hobart Betts. Now ABB, they recently bought Thomas & Betts in 2012. ABB is a global multinational enterprise, very large conglomerate, 140,000 folks across 100 countries, over 100 countries all over the world, $45 billion in revenue. And in 1998, ABB really came to be with the mergers of two engineering companies in Switzerland and Sweden. BBC and Isaiah Brown Boveri became ABB. So ABB is structured into 4 divisions. The Electrification Products Division is what we are a part of. Robotics and Motion, Industrial Automation, and Power Grids. And I'll just give you a brief overview of how we're structured here. So the Electrification Products Division consists of building products, which are more of your home automation. We're getting into a lot more of the home automation realm. Industrial pin and sleeve connectors, door entry systems, and electric vehicle charging stations. Distribution Solutions, EPDS, that's more of your low and medium voltage switchgear and transformers. Installation Products is where we play. That's your legacy Thomas & Betts products. And all the types of installation products I'll show you in the slide upcoming. Our solar business unit, again, that's all on the renewable focuses. We pretty much handle everything in the solar spectrum other than the panels themselves. And then Protection and Connection. Protection and Connection is more like your motor controls, soft starters, relays, breaker switches, and contactors. Robotics and Motion, just quick, the other 3 divisions, I don't really get involved in those 3 divisions, though we do intertwine in some ways. Robotics and Motion is more our VFDs or drives, motors, those types of products, and of course our robotics. We're very strong in robotics across the globe. Industrial Automation gets into control technologies, turbocharging, and machine and factory automation. And Power Grids is more of our high voltage offering. So that's your transformers and high voltage substation type products. This just gives you a breakdown of our Keystone District under Charlie Rose. I'll just go back to the previous slide real quick. The Empire District is really, it falls under Craig Nimick. He's a district manager, and that's more of Metro New York, New Jersey. And these are your contacts. We'll get the contacts out to you. Keystone, Charlie Rose handles more of the legacy Friedman Electric branches. So he's in Pennsylvania and Delaware and Maryland, those types of areas. And then Keith Babcock, he is the district manager for upstate New York out of the New England district. So all the branches in upstate New York, which would be more of the city electrics. Now, Thomas & Betts, from a legacy perspective, these are some of the brands. Later this year, ABB is the Thomas & Betts name as a company. We have, up to this point, been operating as separate companies. The Thomas & Betts name as a company will be going away, and it will become ABB. The Thomas & Betts brand will not. So it's very important to make that differentiation. Thomas & Betts brands include Carlon, Superstrut, Kindorf. I mean, I'm sure if you're into residential and commercial construction, you're very familiar with these brands. Tie wraps, tie duct, quick turn cable tray. A lot of people don't think of us for cable tray. And the cable protection systems, PMA, Adaptaflex, Harness Flex, Copex, and rigid PVC coated systems, OCal, and all of our rigid T&B fittings. And then protection, connection, and control is more of our Blackburn, color-keyed compression connectors, grounding connectors, and systems, as well as our surge protective devices under the Jocelyn brand. And then safety technology with the Emergy light. So we'll dive into some new products here real quick. Carlon came out recently, within the past couple months, a new multi-purpose box. The multi-purpose box it really reduces your SKUs. It's an all-in-one box. It's the largest single gang at 24.5 cubic inches and double gang at 48 and 48.2 cubic inches. It's suitable for new and old work. Has a breakaway flange. You can see right here. You snap it off, and you're good for old work. If you leave it on, it's another means to mount onto your studs. And studs can be wood or metal, horizontal or vertical mounting. They have integral screws on the inside, again, horizontal or vertical mounting. We talked about the breakaway flange, and we also have dividers for the double gang. That's for high-low voltage separation. We are going to be sending out, under separate cover, some videos on these products. We have a wide array of videos on YouTube, and they're very good to watch. Unfortunately, we can't stream them on here, so we'll skip through those slides. Next on the agenda is our Carlon non-metallic push-in fittings. These are brand new as well. These came out within the past couple of months. They're available in 1/2 and 3/4 inch. 1/2 is colored gray and 3/4 inch is colored blue, so that's your easy color designation for the sizes. All you do is snap them into your knockouts. It could be in a metal box, it could be in a panel. You just pop them in, no tools, and it's done. Certified for 1 or 2 cables, non-metallic cables. And it exceeds pull-out requirements, and you can insert from both the inside or the outside of the enclosure. And now we'll talk about some oldies, but goodies. The Draft-Tite line we came out with a few years ago. The Draft-Tite line basically has these foam gaskets at the cable entry points on the back side, along with the flexible front gasket seal. This really creates an airtight application. So you get rid of those drafts. It supports green home building and the IECC directives, which is the International Energy Conservation Code. That came out in 2012, and I'll show you a map on the next slide, which basically shows you what states have adapted this code. This slide just shows you a little bit more detail on the gaskets themselves on the back side. 8-inch thick foam gasket, which again covers those cable entry points. And it's suitable for new or old work. I have the old work design in my hand and on the screen with these flexible plastic tabs that you just snap in and it connects to your wall. Here's that map I was talking about. This is commercial energy code adoption. It also applies to residential. The purple, it's hard to read in the bottom left corner, but the purple is adoption as of 2015, and that's the most recently adopted states. So you can see New York, New Jersey complies with or has adopted those codes and standards. So if you haven't seen, I'm sure you have seen it. If you haven't seen it, you will see it more and more as a requirement. In addition to the electrical boxes, we also have them in ceiling fan boxes. So your typical ceiling fan box has a hanger bar supported 16 to 24-inch spacing. These boxes also have those foam gasket seals again on the front flange and on the back side for the cable entry points. There's integral V-clamps on the inside to provide a self-clamping cable entry point. And they're UL rated both for a load rating of 35 pounds up to 24-inch span, and a UL fixture load rating of 50 pounds up to a 24-inch span. The boxes themselves are a high-strength polycarbonate, so they will not distort whether in the heat or the cold. Shatter in the cold, I should say. This is a better visual of the draft-tight ceiling box. Again, you have your 1/8-inch thick foam gaskets on the front and the back sides. That's your most important part. Adjust-A-Boxes. These have been around for a few years as well. These have been a home run for us. The Adjust-A-Box, every contractor is familiar with these, but the key benefit for these is in installations where you're going to run into different thicknesses in addition to the drywall, and what I mean by that is backsplashes or tile. These boxes have the ability to mount horizontally or vertically, but they have this integral screw that basically aligns your box once it's mounted to the correct depth. Very, very big seller for us. Also, we're going to talk about this non-metallic expansion deflection coupling. This came out a couple years ago. Again, another home run for us. It was a first of its kind to the market. It's an innovative design that basically reduces the installation time when you have to make a joint between rigid PVC conduit, Schedule 40, Schedule 80, particularly in expansion deflection applications. It has axial or parallel deflection up to 3/4 inch, and an angular deflection capability up to 30 degrees from a stationary point. It's suitable for indoor, outdoor, direct burial. I have sold into applications where we have direct buried this encased in concrete, basically connecting two vaults within a sewage system. So in order to embed it in concrete, you do have to wrap this in a protective boot. There are installation guidelines and instructions that come along with this, if that is indeed your application. The smooth inner diameter allows for easy wire pull. And the neoprene jacket, along with the stainless steel clamps, they provide superior corrosion resistance in those types of applications as well. And the final product we're going to talk about is our ENT product, electrical non-metallic tubing, otherwise known as Smurf tube if you're talking about the blue. This has been around for a number of years, but I just wanted to give you a little refresher about ENT. This is another one of our high-volume movers, specifically with Cooper Electric. It's flexible non-metallic raceway. It's for use in walls, floors, and non-plenum ceilings. Direct burial in concrete is blue. That's most common in the blue, but blue is also used in the walls for power applications. It's also available in yellow for communication and red for fire signal. There's mud box assemblies in 5 unique styles, and they have integral connections of 1/2, 3/4, and 1 inch, various quantities within the mud box itself. When they're used with the new ENT reducers, they'll meet basically all job site applications. We have transition adapters from ENT to Schedule 40/80. We also have quick connect adapters and couplings that we simply just snap right in, and stub ups and stub downs. It's suitable for damp locations, and it's concrete tight like we previously discussed when following the proper guidelines of installation. And last but not least, MarketLink. I'm sure you're wondering, what is MarketLink? MarketLink is a public website by Thomas & Betts, now ABV. marketlink.tnb.com. I strongly suggest you check it out. It's available for the public. It's basically our marketing tool that's updated twice a month on the 1st and the 15th of every month. And it updates anything from technical tips on various products, new line cards that you can download in PDF form and print out on your own, new product releases. We do have a store with ABB T&B branded clothing and accessories and promotional giveaways. Also, our promotions for our distributors, such as the recently announced Staycon promotion, which whenever it comes around, it's a hot one. This is a great resource. I go on it quite often and show all my customers so they can stay in tune with what we have to offer on our end. So that's about it. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching the program and kind of learning about the new Carlon products along with some older products and how ABB and TEV are now one big happy family. If anybody has any questions, feel free to comment in the field. I'll be glad to take them. You're good? Oh, was that clear, huh? Well, yeah, that's it. I appreciate your time. I'm sure I'll see you on the New York side for all my New York folks, and Mark will be in to see your folks on the Jersey side. And, oh.
Matt McCormick, you said the inside of the flexible coupling is smooth, no rims, correct?
That is smooth, correct. No problem. I should also mention on the ENT side, we also have riser guard and plenum guard for those types of applications. They're available in orange, with or without pull tape. So you will see those types of applications quite often as well. We're good. All right. Thank you.